So if my hair has looked crazy this whole time, pretend it didn't, okay? Thanks. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming my first book video. Also, as you can see, I'm in a different location, so I thought it'd be fun to film here because this is where I do all my reading. This is going to be my May favorites, what I read in June, and my July TBR. I have been wanting to film this since April and I kept putting it off and forgetting, so now here we are, it's almost July, so this is what I came up with. So if you are excited and you like book content, keep on watching. Also, I will include my Bookstagram here if you are into book content and you want to follow me over there. So let's start off with my May favorites, and those are The Blood We Crave Part 2 by Monty J and Rewrite Our Story by Kat Singleton. I can't say a lot about The Blood We Crave Part 2 because it's obviously a part 2 to the first book, and if I said much, it would kind of spoil it if you planned on reading it or if you haven't read the second one. But this is Thatcher and Lyra's story, and it is so good. This was such a good ending. Book 1 had me left with a lot of questions, and this answered all of them. I am obsessed with the Hollow Boys after my friend Kristen here on YouTube. I will leave her information down below, but she talked about the Hollow Boys so much that I finally decided to read them, and I fell in love. So if you like dark romance, I would definitely recommend reading this. Also, check the trigger warnings before you read. This was obviously a 5-star book and I loved it. I can't wait for the next one. Next was Rewrite Our Story by Kat Singleton. This is about Kate and Mare. This book was so beautiful. This was the first book that I read that was like real time and then had flashbacks to past events. So at the end of a chapter, they would talk about something that has happened in the past, and then the next couple chapters would actually be what they were talking about. So you kind of understood the feelings that they were feeling and all the stuff that was going on. This is an emotional book, but it is so beautifully written and it is so incredible. It is a small town romance set in Sutton Mountain, which is mentioned in Black Ties and White Lies, also by Kat Singleton. And if you were looking for a beautiful romance read, I would recommend. I obviously gave this 5 stars as well. Next is what I read in June. I didn't read as much this month as I have the past months because I was binge watching Riverdale. I'm trying to catch up so I can watch the last couple episodes on TV whenever it airs, and I literally binge watched so many episodes instead of reading, but I don't regret it. So the first book I read is Fifth Avenue Fling by Rosa Lucas. This is about Clodagh and Killian, or Killen, I'm not really sure how you say it. But whenever I was reading it, I was thinking Killian in my head. So she's working at a bar and someone overhears her talking about needing a job, and they say that they know somebody that needs a nanny. So she's kind of hesitant, but she takes them up on their offer. And whenever her and Killian meet for the first time, she realizes this isn't the first time she's ever seen him. They actually had a run-in at the hotel that he owns previous to this, and it wasn't a very good one. My light keeps dying. Sorry if the camera angle changed a little bit. I had to fix my light and all that. So Killian is really hesitant for Clodagh to be his nanny for his daughter, but he needs a nanny ASAP, so he decides to go ahead and let Clodagh fill the job. He thinks that she is a pretty crappy nanny, but he needs somebody to be there until his old nanny can come back. But over time, Killian starts to actually look at her and he starts to catch feelings and vice versa. This is a really good book. I really enjoyed it. I gave this 5 stars as well. So I would recommend for you to read this if you're into that type of vibe. Next was Consider Me by Becca Mack. This book, oh my god, I love this book. Carter Beckett, oh my god, that man is my newest book boyfriend. This is a hockey romance, by the way. This is about Carter and Olivia. So whenever Carter sees Olivia at a bar, he hits on her and she's like, absolutely not, because she knows he is a playboy. But after a drunken night together, she starts to see the real Carter and not just what everybody makes him out to be. This book shows a lot of the beautiful moments in their relationship, but also the hardships that they go through. This book is absolutely incredible. Carter says some very questionable things, but is very hilarious. And Olivia has some sass. I gave this book 5 stars. I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to read the rest of the series. So the next book I read is Fate and Fiction by Jenna Lockwood. I actually received this as an ARC. This is about Josie and Emmett. So Josie's family is holding off on her funds until she finds a wealthy husband to bring more money into the family. And when she meets Emmett, she learns his family is also holding off on his funds, and he wants to buy a helicopter. So they decide to fake date until they both have access to their funds and they go their separate ways with what they want to do. So as you can guess, with all fake dating, they start to catch feelings, but he catches feelings first. I absolutely loved this book. I gave it 5 stars. It was so incredible. I was in tears at the epilogue. I thought this book was really, really beautiful, and I just absolutely loved them together. So by the time you're watching this, this book is already out, and I definitely recommend you go add this to your TBR. So the next book that I plan on reading in June, it's June 27th right now, so I still have a couple days. Play With Me by Becca Mack, which is the second book in the series. I obviously can't tell you anything about that because I haven't read it, but hopefully I have read it by July. So for my July TBR, first off is Homerun Proposal by Maren Moore. I'm so freaking excited for this book. I mean, just like look at the cover, first of all. And all the little teasers that Maren has shared just is making me so much more excited. So this is a college baseball, forced proximity, best friend's brother, virgin heroine, and playboy hero book. Next is That First Night by Jen McMahon. I actually don't know if that's how you say that, so I'm really sorry if I mispronounced that. So I've seen a lot of good things about this book, which intrigued me to read it. So this says that this is a steamy single dad romance. So I'm super excited to see what this book's all about. Next is Unravel Me by Becca Mack. She doesn't actually have a date for when this is going to come out, but my fingers are crossed that it's in July. So if so, I will be reading it in July. If not, it will be bumped up to whatever month it's released. Next is Pucking Around by Emily Rath. This was actually on my June TBR, but since I was binge watching Riverdale, I didn't get around to reading it. So it is now for my July TBR. So this is a MMFM book, which I didn't really know that, but I'm interested. It's workplace romance, friends to lovers. I'm hoping that I really enjoy this book, but I'm not really sure. And lastly is Our Scorching Summer by Kels Stone and Denise Stone. This is book 2 of the Perks and Benefits series, but I'm 99% sure that this can be read as a standalone. I've seen so many videos on Instagram and TikTok about this book, and I needed to read it, and July is the perfect month for that. July is also my birthday month, and I'm going on vacation in July, so that's why I didn't put a lot of books on this TBR, because I'm not going to have a ton of time to read, but I would rather not put many books on the TBR and read more than that. I am a goal achiever, so if I put 4 books on my TBR, my goal is to read those 4 books and then some, instead of putting like 12 books on my TBR and only reading 4 of them, you know what I mean? So I hope you guys enjoyed my first book video. I hope that this angle is okay and all that. This is obviously new filming in this place. But like I said, if you are interested in book content, all my information for that will be down below. I will also tag Kristen's channel and her information since I mentioned her. I will also be linking all these books down below from Amazon, so that way you can find it for Kindle or paperback if you're interested in any of them. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if any of these books I mentioned are on your TBR, if you plan on adding them, or if you have read any of them. And if you've made it to this point, let me know down below, out of the books I mentioned, which one's cover was your favorite. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! My back hurts. Oh my god, I thought that was somebody from Money Heist.